Let's start it out. PTs, 89 and a 179. Slideways, 35 and a 94. Thunderdome, they ran the High Banks, 20 and a 31. Brickhouse, 32 and a 65. Limestone did their Friday night, 21 and a 33. Thanks, Kevin. Dirt Devil, 27 and a 66. So a total of 224 drivers and 468 cars on the track, not counting what we had up in at trackside. Trackside ended up with 125 and 244 on the rubber tire side, and 36 and 56 on the foam tire side, with a 161 and a 300. So total 161 drivers, 300 cars. Guys, they did a hell of a job. So congrats to the guys at trackside. It was a good show. PTs, of course, had a great show again. They got done pretty early. I think they started a little bit earlier, so that was good. And then Slideways had another really good turnout. So just so we're looking at numbers here for the winter series here, PTs has had a total of 1,362 or 3 cars on the track with 671 drivers. Slideways has had 651 and 1630. Now, you got to remember Slideways has ran 6 more times than PTs, whatever, but that's still 2 great numbers. That's our highest we've had this year. High side hobbies, they've been up there too. They're at 326 and 862, but they've ran about 20 races also. So that number gets up there whenever you get a bunch of races, but it doesn't matter, you know. Okay, yeah, thanks, Jake. I was going to look that up. I was in there eating dinner, and I came in, and it came across Facebook, but I didn't look. So there was 300 there too. So the southern part of the country, I would say probably the southern half was down there, right? So that was cool to see too. 300 down there. So now you got another 300 there. Guys, there's 1,000 guys or 800 guys out racing this weekend, or cars out racing this weekend in dirt oval racing. So it's strong, guys. We talked about at the track a little bit this weekend about how the summer is going to compare to the winter. And if most guys in the summer, you're not going to see the 150 to 180 car count at most tracks in the winter or in the summer. And you're not going to average 150 cars like PT's has and 100 like Slideways has this year. You're just not going to do it. And the reason why you're not going to do it is I've got a cottage up north I need to fix or work on, and I need to go to. I've got a boat that I really enjoy. The wife's got vacation planned. We won't be able to make it. There's so much other stuff, and there's a lot more tracks. So these numbers in the winter, in my opinion, are a better gauge of how strong the hobby is as a whole, just because you get to see that factor not being there. Those of you that have been worried about the IT department, they are officially back. Okay? So that's how that is. But I see that's how I kind of judge this winter series, the winter races being that way. With a total of almost 8,000 entries this winter and 4,000 drivers. So huge numbers. Definitely something that everybody that's involved in the hobby can take a step back and look at and say, man, that's good. But on the other side of it, we'll talk about a little bit more. I think, guys, when you start seeing that big number, you start thinking, oh, we need to do something different. And I don't know that that's the case, but we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Okay? Let's get back to this. Let's get back over here to the the races for the week. Guys, there's a lot going on this weekend too. Oops. What is that? Oh, we don't want that one up. Okay. There we go. This one's coming up. The Mouse Memorial Race down at Slideways. Upcoming events for them. This is their events. They just ran the number 7. The Mouse Memorial is this weekend, and the next weekend is number 8. So if you guys want to get down there, that is one place to go. So that's how that's going to be. Yeah, she ain't gonna do that. He just got his nut. It's a male, and he just got his nuts cut off, so he better not. That's why he's in the house with me. So there it is. If you guys want to get down to the Mouse Memorial Race, definitely something that is a good cause, and those are always good races to get to. We will not be down there. I'm actually going to try to take a weekend off so I can work on my own track a little bit. We'll see how that works. Thunderdome, they're getting ready for another club race up there. So the the High Bank Oval will be in action. But the for some club races. Okay? If you guys want to get up there and try that out before you get into any of their series. They've got a series just ending in the next week, so the last one will be there. Go Fast. The guys from Go Fast were up in Milwaukee this weekend, so they are going to get back to club racing. So if you guys want to get over there to Go Fast, get that done. They got a club race coming in. Brick House is getting ready for the GLSS series. That's the first one. It's supposed to be the second one, but they made the transfer. No big deal. They'll make that other race up. So the Great Lakes Shootout Series is there. Get that one in if you want to get in on the front half of that series and run that whole series with those guys. Really looks like it's probably going to be a really good series. And if you guys are in Indiana or you guys want to travel over there for that series, make sure you guys get that taken care of. You guys might have heard the pop-up ad for this before if you were on early enough. The 4 Crowns, that's this weekend. That's next weekend, the 21st. We will be down there. We're going to hang out all day. I will not be there Friday, but I will be there Saturday for the race itself. So if anybody's coming into town and you watch and you don't know me, stop by. I'll be in Cheater's Corner, turn 2. If you guys want to hang out, come over, bullshit. We'll be there. Guarantee we'll be there sometime. We don't usually get there real early, but we'll see how things go. We are going down to support the Wits team because they support us. Then the next weekend, guys, this is where we're going to be. I know there's other stuff going on, and I know that. We're going to be up at the Foam Oval Nationals. Dave from RC Underground, who did come up to trackside this weekend, we hung out for a little bit and talked. He puts this big race on, and it's for charity. So we go up there every year. We've been doing it for the last 2 years since he moved into the Moose Lodge, and we will support him for that. So that's why we're doing that. Okay? And there it is. That's what we got going on this week and the next couple weeks. So if you guys want to get that done, make sure you guys get in there, get some racing in. Like I said, I'm probably going to take next weekend off. I'd love to go back down to Slideways, but we must get our track ready to go. Get our track ready to go for May 9th. So we are getting things together for that as we speak. Alrighty. Most guys I've seen that I've seen on here or that are in this area went 2 places this weekend. Maybe 3. 3 places we'll say this weekend. Slideways, PTs, or the duels. Late to the show. What's up, y'all? Jason, what's up, Jason? Yeah. Somebody else put that P word in their flyer the other day, too. Who was it? Somebody else put that word. Somebody said premiere. I'm going to say it. I'm on it tonight. Somebody else called their facility Premier. I don't know who it was, but anyway, I just had to laugh. If you guys have been around a while, you know why. If you haven't, shoot a message in your group text y'all got going on somewhere along the way, and with somebody that was in here early, they'll tell you why. But Kevin Smith's good at that. Let Kevin answer that Premier question. So here's what it is. We went up to the duels, guys. I watched PTs. I watched the final 5 or 6 races on our way home. Rick Taylor's been around. He knows. I watched the final 2 or 3 races on the way home from trackside last night. Great turnout. That's how club races are at PTs now, guys. There was some Iowa guys. I seen some of them commenting in the group that they were there. So Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Missouri, I'm assuming, were there this weekend for a damn club race. So crazy. Slideways had another great number. Those guys, they seem to grab that middle, what I would call southern and south central Illinois region. They grab a lot from there and then get some Indiana and some Missouri guys as well. They do a hell of a job. And the show rolls, they get it done, and you get out of there. Same way with PTs last night. You guys were done by 10 something, 10:30, 11 o'clock, something like that. Not even that. It was earlier than that. They started a little earlier, right? I know some guys didn't get home till real late, but they drive slow. But whatever, you know what I mean? If you don't know what the pedal on the right's for, then, I mean, you get home later. But he did get you guys out of there a good time, PTs. And Trackside did the same thing. Trackside started really, really early, and Trackside got us out of there at a really good time. I was figuring 9:30, and it was like 8:30, I think we were out of there. So that was good. It was good to see that. A ton of cars. I got to talk to Jamie a little bit, which was really cool because we talked track. I don't know if Ryan's on here yet, but thanks, Ryan, for helping me with that situation. We were talking about the track, and he said, "Go ask Jamie," and Jamie happened to walk by, and he grabbed him, and me and him went down and had a conversation about it. That track is kind of like, but maybe a little bit heavier bite than what we would normally see at the end of the night. So a little hard on tires sometimes, but they were on slicks. Was it a facility, or was it describing a race of facility? I think it was a facility, Kevin. Jason Van Ice, good dueling, good wheeling in the duels. Yeah, Jason did a good job. He loves them 12 turns. They ran 12 turns in the slashes, guys, for you slash guys that are on here. I don't know how much longer. I think they're the last one in Wisconsin. Maybe not, but they're one of the last ones still to run them up there, too. So hopefully they'll get on the BL2 bandwagon and keep that class rolling. But yeah, that was good. We had a good conversation, talked about the track and how they converted it over. It had a lot of grip in it. There was some traction rolling going on. It wasn't as high bite as a high bite track there, but that thing was stupid. I've never been to a track except for limestone that is high bite clay, and it was cool to see a difference in limestone to there. There was a lot more of a lift. You could really hear it. Get off the gas and get back in the gas. You know what I mean? You could hear it so much better there than you could, like when you go to limestone, it's just pin it to win it, in my opinion. Now, foam guys are going to kill me for it, and I understand there's totally different. You got to lift a little bit. It's a little bit, but it's so much rounder and bigger. That track is really short, in my opinion. And I don't know if that's how it is because I've never seen another high bite track like that. But I don't know if that's a normal size, but they run like 303s there. Was a fast time. And man, was it fun to watch. A couple guys kind of got thrown into the mix that are on here a bunch. And there were some bets, which were good. So, Kevin, I'm sorry, Kevin. um, but they had that. I'm not sorry. They had that, but that was cool to see. So just a little bit of a different track that I've never seen before, and you know, I was talking to some of the highway guys, and like that's the first time I've seen something different than limestone. So that was very interesting, and they ran a great show. So that's the way it goes. What else? The facility there, guys. When I when I pulled up there, I thought, man, well, I don't worry about the parking at our track anymore. So if you've never been to trackside, there is parking, but you are basically parking on the street. What's up, Dennis? The majority of people are parking on the street. There's not much room in their lot. We actually got, the first day we got lot parking. We went to lunch and came back and had to park on the street, but only about a quarter of the block down. Then when we got there on Saturday, we were late Saturday. There was no reason for us to get there for practice. So we ended up going to breakfast late, me and the wife. It was our anniversary, so we just hung out and had a nice breakfast and then left, come to the track, and spent the rest of the day at the track. And we got lot parking then too, but there's not much room, so it was good. Tyler says Justin kicked the ass. He did. He did a good job. And I don't know who won that bet, but he did catch the wall. Just saying. The high bike track there, guys, is kind of tight, and it's a concrete block wall. So yeah, there's a few guys, more than just one. Justin wasn't the only one, but he got kind of tossed into that. Danta gave him a hell of a car to race, but they had a good time. Those two didn't disappoint. I thought they would tear up more than they did. Yeah, agreed, Ryan. I thought the same thing. I thought, oh shit, you know, what's this going to turn into? And it really wasn't bad. They did pretty good. So fun to watch. The funniest part was, yeah, zero give. You're right, Wolfie. 100% zero give. The thing is with that. That when Justin and Tyler and all of them went, man, dude, you couldn't get in that back room. It was packed, and that was for the B main. Of course, the A got pretty busy too, and then the EDMs got stupid busy because everybody's wanting to see that fast run. So Tyler's ran foam cars before, yeah. But he doesn't normally. But Justin was first time, right? Cuz calling you out, Tyler. But yeah, that's cool. I mean, but it was good, dude. I really enjoyed it. I liked having the two tracks. You talk about track owners that are on here or promoters that are on here. Give yourself that scenario. You've got 42 rounds of racing. You've got 42 rounds of racing in a rubber tire. Then you have just 12 or something like that in the back. But guys are running both, and you have to organize that. Now they kind of held the high bite stuff in the back, or they switched it up a little bit to help that if they needed to, if it kind of clashed too much. But they really did a good job of mixing the two. $10 bet. Next year, we're going to run it back. Oh, hell yeah. Somebody clip that. I know there's people clipping videos off of here, so clip that right there. Make sure you get the comment so Justin can be held on that deal. Somebody clip it and send it to me. Or send it to who you normally send it to, and they'll keep it for their good, their own good. So that was cool to see. It was cool to see the organization. It was also cool to see, okay, if a guy has got to be in the back to race, somebody is helping step up. Up to race that next group, right? So if say Danta was racing up front, he gets done with his and they're waiting on him in the back, somebody would marshal for him so that he could go to the back. That was what that was like, which was great. It needed to happen. We need Nicholas involved too. Well, let's go. How many do we need? What do we need to do here? There's got to be something. Let's get this worked out now. So everybody, we can get it all done. Who's betting what? Got it. Thanks. So yeah, that's but that's cool, man. I thought it worked really well. I thought all the racers did really well. We didn't have a whole lot of problem with marshaling. It always gets a little rough late in the night for marshaling because guys go home or are ready to get out of here. I'll stay in the cheering session. Agreed. Yeah, I'm not. I don't want nothing to do with that deal. Um, but it was fun. I mean, guys stepped up. Guys, Bud, Reedner, and his boy Easton were down on the other end, sitting on. Randy says me too. Agreed, Randy. I'm telling you, they were sitting down there in what 1 and 2, a bunch. So they would jump up and help if we need to marshal down there. I actually didn't marshal but once all weekend, which is kind of odd for me. But that track is set up weird because it's kind of hard to get into because it's an off-road track normally. Kind of like PTs though. PTs is kind of the same way, where you just have an entryway to get into it. I think that's a big difference of indoor and outdoor too. Is the walls are totally different. Kevin Smith. Oh, is that Kevin? Nick, Kevin. I mean, Tyler. Kevin just raised his hand for foam tire next year and at the duels. Kevin Smith is in on that bet. He just raised his hand. Oh, hey, no problem. That wasn't even. That's nothing, man. That's that was more of a state of confusion more than anything, and it's just like, let's just do it. It's what it is. I don't, you guys have been at PTs with me enough. If somebody needed help with marshaling and asked, I would help. I don't care. I want the program to move on and everybody to enjoy the time. So, but that was no problem at all, Tyler. But they had there's plenty of stuff. You know what I mean? Like there's plenty of guys to help. Marshaling went pretty well. The race went really smooth. They kept it going, and it was good. I learned some stuff about the track, which was good. I also learned some stuff about the system a little bit. I learned a little bit about how they run their program. Yes, that race should be on everyone's bucket list. It should be, guys. It's going to be a little bit more high bite than you're used to, I think, if you don't run any high bite. But I agree with Ryan. You should go. I heard about it last year, but I wasn't this sounds bad. I wasn't that interested because I didn't know. But the more I heard about it, the more I wanted to go. And I'm glad I did. We had a really good time. The wife got to hang out with Michaela for a while on Friday night. And then Saturday, we all just kind of hung out and did our thing. And it was good to see people. So next year with the fam. Yeah, let's go. What's up, Munsterman? I seen you down at PT's, you and the crew. But yeah, so that's good. That's a good thing to go to is that one. And guys, here's what I can say about it. And I was told this before I got there, so maybe I'm a little skewed on it. It didn't seem like it was as serious of a race as one might think. Monster Crasher. Oh, yeah, he got a little rough, I guess. I got some pictures sent to me. McNichol, what's up, buddy? Good seeing you this weekend. Was a good few days. Unfortunately, the indoor, you're more susceptible to the track sickness. Got the sniffles. Yeah, 100%. 100%. But I was told that, it wasn't as serious as you might think before we went up there. And that's the way it that's the way I seen it too. I mean, there was some big names there. There was big names there racing, and still it was not as big of a maybe a thrash as what I thought it would be. There were a few, a lot of guys gluing up tires, a lot of guys working on tires. But other than that, I didn't think it was a thrash like I thought it would be. So that was good. More like a tractor. Well, at least you finished, I guess. But that was cool. Guys, I really enjoyed that as much as anything. I understand there's a place to be very competitive. And I understand there's a place to be very crazy in tune, but I really enjoy a track and a race that guys can really have a good time and remember that we're racing toy cars, still be very competitive, still be plenty of people there. But there it is, you know what I mean? All right, let's get into the question of the week. I didn't type it out because it was just stuff that was talked about this weekend. How we went to trackside, we go to PTs a lot. We've been to slideways, indoor. These are all indoors, right? And this is not indoor only. That's what was surprising to me. Big guys everywhere, and no one really cared. It was fun. The high bite is a different animal. Yes, it is. From what you guys run up an attitude, especially. I was talking to Aaron about it, and he's like, yeah. So that's, definitely crazy with that. So we've been to a lot of the tracks around. Limestone. Outdoor, we've been all over. We've hit a few tracks here and there outdoor also. Why don't we promote it better? You know what I mean? Like, why don't we have fans in the stands? Now, I did see a few people wandering with little kids and stuff up at trackside, which was good to see. A little kid sat on his dad's shoulders, 2 people down from me for hours watching on Friday, I believe it was, and just enjoying it, like just picking out cars and watching it, which was great to see. But I'm sure he was there with somebody. Why is that not promoted more? You could drive right past a lot of tracks and never know it. Then there's tracks like Cedar. Cedar, I talked to Zach for a while this weekend, which is really good too. I haven't talked to Zach much, really talked to Zach, and it was good to talk to him too. But Like his track is just where they live is way out there. So it'd be hard to get people there, but how do you get people there? Brad's is not bad. He could get a lot of traffic, but how do you get people in there? How do you put asses in the seats? Um, you guys know me well enough by now that are on here a lot. I watch all kinds of different things on how to make it bigger. Um, uh, like War in the Woods, you know, I talk about it a lot because it's one of the greatest drag racing events, in my opinion, of the year. And, you know, he says that the racers aren't paying the bills. I need asses in the seats. I need people there buying food, buying whatever, buying t-shirts, buying soda, buying food, whatever it is. That's what I need. So buying an entry fee at that race, you got to pay to get in. Obviously, RC's not that way. I don't even think we're looking at the dollar sign as much as, what's up? What's up, Tom? Um, he said the wave was epic. That's great. So how do we get more people in? Bass drums too. That's what you know what I mean? Like the average Joe, just how do you know who that is? How do you get them into a facility? And I know Tom and them fight a bunch with the city down there. I know a lot of mom and pop tracks like myself. We're not a business. Uh, that's just how it is. You know what I mean? A little awkward. You shipped in a cheering section, but you do you boo. What? So who was it? Who was it? Munsterman? Was it racers or was it family? That's usually what it is, guys. And I'm not saying that in a bad way by any means, but you just wonder if you can get a half a dozen people. Like, we're really lucky. We're right in town. The town folk come. They pull up on golf carts. People from Colum come 5 miles away. People from the country come sometimes with a big race. How do we help that get bigger? And do we want that? You know what I mean? People sharing things on Facebook reach out to families that don't know we exist. I think it's why we are growing. Chris and Jake doing videos on social media are getting huge views. I agree. I agree with that 100%, Ryan. Those two guys are doing a great deal. Entourage is expensive. I better get a sponsorship deal soon. Yeah, I don't know. You know, like Farmer City's great too. Farmer City's got a huge place there. But if you go there, you don't see many people standing. Now, if with this rebuild, there's more room that people can sit and watch, spectator side, maybe that helps. I don't know. That's something we have to think about. Now, of course, then you got to think insurance side of it with other people on the property, not racers. For a home track like myself, I can't have too many bleachers because I can't have them climbing on the bleachers, blah, blah, blah. You know? So, I don't know. I don't know what that means. You know what I mean? So, uh, just don't sell them sideboards. It was the boys and some of the other guys. Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's just it. That's what I wonder what the deal is. You know what I mean? Like, how do we get more people in? And I agree with Ryan's comment on the social media side of it, but is there traditional ways to help that too? It says a lot of people that have never been to or realized there's toy car racing kind of think, oh, it's toy cars. That can't be exciting. My sister and brother-in-law came to Attitude last year to watch, and they were amazed at how cool it was. I think once people realize, it's no different than the big cars, except you don't have the sound. But to scale, to scale, honestly, we're faster than a big car if you're looking for speed. Tom had told me one time that I think his brother did the math, and it's crazy. So if that's the case, I mean, if you're looking for speed and you think about it as a 1/10 scale speed, we are flying. So I don't know. That's just something we were talking about, how to help push it, how to help promote it more, how to get more people involved. You know what I mean? And that's how that is. I don't know. Just a thought, more than a question probably this week. Topic of the week this week, guys. I'm just doing this here for Munsterman. There is no topic really, except for, I mean, I didn't print one out, but he likes to see my big head on a little body. So I thought I'd throw that up there for him. I'm here to please you, Munsterman. So standardization, I guess, is what I would call it. Maybe everybody kind of getting on the same page. We've talked about this a ton on here. And this came out because a new car came out, not a 10 scale, but a new car. Hard to promote to anyone that had never seen or been at a race without actually pushing races and having someone physically see it. When they talk to others, it's hard to sell. It is, McNichol. I think people just don't understand. They don't understand how it is, right? They don't understand. They don't understand really what's going on, right? They don't get it. I don't know. I don't know how it is either. Maybe videos need to be. Maybe we need to figure out a way to make the video production better. Me and Brian have talked about that for a while now, and we're going to try some stuff here to help promote that too. We'll see how that works. But the other thing is I like all the videos. I like all the videos that Jake and them do, and the reason why I like to see those is because a lot of time you see the highlight of it, you see the fun part of it. There's a lot of times where the racing isn't that great, or it's slowed down, or there's a lot of wrecks. But if you highlight the great parts, which is what highlights are about, right? You highlight the great parts, that's stuff you see. So what is Midpack Media? Isn't that Chris's deal? And then, of course, Jake. If you guys have Jake, make sure you guys share their stuff if they have it shareable to promote that, to let people see what we're doing. We should do temporary racetrack grandstands intermission at the big car races. I don't disagree with that, Ryan. The Rusty Cup, I don't know if the boys are on here tonight or not, but the Rusty Cup does that. They actually set up at the fairgrounds and do the Rusty Cup race, which is an off-road style race-ish in front of the grandstands. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we would have to flat track it, which would be fine. It ain't like we're going to put on the greatest show, right? But that would be cool to try to do. And a place like Kankakee, definitely, they're trying to get as much help as they can to try to make something happen there. If we knew anybody at Farmer City, maybe that could happen at some point. Fairbury, I don't know, but that would be just it would be another way to see it. Have a trailer there, having somebody with a bigger enclosed there with cars so they could see it. I want to say I remember a track doing that some years back. Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard of it, but been trying to organize a demo across parking lot at Tulsa for a few years now. It's getting closer. Yeah, that would be cool. We did that at Kirkland Track bunch of us ran on the infield. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe that's where it is. I don't know, but that's if something like that comes about, everybody make sure you put that out there, share that to the guys. Even even if you have 10 guys or whatever you want to, 6 or 8 or 10 guys, whatever you have that you want to run to make it a good show. We all understand that, or well, we should understand that. With that said, everybody else show up. Just show up as the RC community just to talk about it. And prove that this is more than 5 guys playing around in their backyard. You know what I mean? I think the numbers that we do weekly help that number too. Help prove that there is plenty of people out here playing with toy cars. And all different levels. Guys, on the numbers we put out there, we don't dispute where you're at. Right? So, yes, I think that all helps. They're running RC drag cars. And no preparations for a while. Yeah. The drag side of it's kind of died. I mean, there's a little bit still going on, but nothing like it was. Anybody into RC drag racing? Decatur. Mike Honcho RC, I think is his Facebook handle. He does a bunch of RC drag racing stuff. So, yep, there's tons of that. But, you know what I mean? That's just it. You have got to figure that out. We've got to figure out a way to... We don't need to grow it as much as we just need people to understand it. And it will grow itself if people start seeing it and seeing the enjoyment. I think anybody there this weekend would have been, for the A's, would have been very excited to watch that racing. I mean, guys are beating on the walls and yelling and, you know, wanting people to get ahead. Mad when somebody wrecks their person. You know, I mean, we didn't even know some of these people. Christina met a little girl, I won't call her a young lady by the name of Raina up there, and she got kind of taken out a little bit. I don't, and Christina was pissed, but you know that's the way it is. You know, you ride or die with these people, and that's how we are with all of our group. You know what I mean? Like, if Jeremy and Scoop are out there racing and we're watching, you know, we're ride or die. If most of the what we call the mod guys, t-shirts on the way, guys. The mod guys, they, you know, we're all rooting for them. We want our local area to be there. What's up, Herzog? Late to the party, working on the track, so may have missed a point of the question. Planning to get a local asphalt oval this summer, hopefully with some cars and videos. Ascot and SoCal had a RC track next to a major track. Huh. Always helps for exposure. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, you're not real late. The question was, how do we promote it more? Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I seen your video. I've seen some of your videos putting up. Guys, Snake River, is that right? Snake River RC out of Idaho right there. That's James Herzog, the premier fast guys. No, it's just the fast guy. No, it's not fast guys. We don't use that word on this one. This is Sunday. We use mod guys. That started back whenever they first started coming here. I'm like, if the mod guys are here, we're doing this. And then somebody's counting right now how many times I say mod. Right? Oh, shoot. So, but yeah, that's where we're at, guys. I think that has to happen. Getting back to standardization, I think most tracks are on there. Would never expect her to bring us cheesecake in another state. Gave out to some new people, told them to tune into your show. Cool. Oh yeah. Yeah, Ryan, that was fun. It's just a tradition now. That's going to happen, no matter where we're at. So, I wonder how many fans at Farmer City even know there's an RC track. Matt's on here. Matt, we need a poll next year. I mean, if you know anybody at the track, we need a poll of who knows there's an RC track back there. Or let's light a big ass, we need to put a big ass sign like, I don't know, we need to get a big neon sign for your track. And then we could put a big neon sign up that says RC track here. And keep the pit bikes off of it. We're going to break your face. So yeah, that's the standardization. Back to that, the standardization came in. I think most tracks in the area, outdoors and indoors, kind of are on board. They understand. We don't need 80 classes. I just looked up. We are doing for the shit show race. Where are you going? There's nothing down there. There's no IT problems. What are you doing? We're fine. Keep on going. So, that's great. We only have 9 classes, I believe. Let me look. I don't want to be mouth breathing over here. All right, hang on, guys. I think. Yeah, we have 9 classes for the shit show race. There it is. That's our first race of the year. 2 heats and 1 main, 30-minute heats, 30 lowers, 50 yeppers, or A's. But we're doing 1, 2, 9 classes there. Okay? So, with the 9 classes, we I got the flyer. Yes, right there it is. Scuba. I got the flyer and I've got the TQ trophies ordered. All right? Head of schedule. Scuba's usually here with me at the last minute. But anyway, we're running 9 classes. Let's look at them real quick as they're up there on the screen for you guys. Crate late is 13.5 late model, right? We call it crate here. Doesn't matter. It's the same rules. Crate late, mod late, buggy street stock. 360 and 410 sprints. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slash street stock would be 6. That would be the 6 classes. Yeah, Joe, I thought it was 2. We'll have an extra. It's not a big deal. Go ahead and make it. I counted wrong. So I probably put SC mod in there and from last year. Yeah, you'll have some. Believe me, Scuba. It ain't called the shit show for nothing, bro. There'll be plenty to do. So 6 classes. I like the slash street stock. Maybe the B mod. We could add midgets. We'll put it out there. If guys want midgets, we'll do midget too. I don't care. I think that is where we need to be. Like, in all honesty, this list isn't bad. I think the mini mod needs to be, is my one-off class, right? So everything else is the same. Everything else is the same except for the mini mod, which is my house class. I really feel like we should have a standardized group of races or classes, and then that's what you run. The low-C will be in there too, Joe. Low-C sprint will probably be in there too. I haven't done anything with that in a while, but the low-C sprint will probably be there too. So if we have those, if we end up with that, there just has to be, I don't know. I feel like if a new class comes out, everybody's going to throw something in there. You know what I mean? Like, oh, let's start a class for this and this and this. But if everybody jumps on board with the same group of classes, people will fall in line with that, and then we'll have more people each class. Dennis says classes bring entries. Classes bring entries as long as you let it happen. But if I'm just going to use something because I can. TRX modifieds, the modifieds that that Traxxas came out with. You could do the exact same thing, put them in a Slash street stock, exact same deal. Probably a better car for them to start with than a TRX modified, right? They handle better. They are closed wheel. You're not driving over each other and breaking shit in the front end. I think they're a better car. The Slash street stock. Now, buggy street stock or crate late model on the buggy side. Low C Sprint, I guess, has to be there, or 360 Sprint if you're going to start working your way up the Sprint levels. You guys know I'm a guy that thinks stepping stones to get to the top. But I hate it whenever you see the next class, the next guy has 12 classes just trying to get entry fees in. Guys, 3 doesn't really make a class anymore. 10 years ago, 3 made a class. My opinion, 3 don't make a class anymore. 5 or 6 make a class. And the reason why is, I'm not here to give you a participation trophy. We're here to race. The problem also comes in is, guys look at it and say, oh, I just need somewhere to race. I want that guy's entry fee money. Well, that's the wrong way to look at it too. So, I don't know. I don't know if there's a way to get that down where it is or not. Let me get this in comments here. Munchman says, and that's exactly why Slash Street Stock needs to be made as easy as possible for somebody getting into the hobby, or even the Low C Sprint Slash Late Model or Traxxas Modified. Top 3 get a steaming pile of, yeah, they are. We're doing some kind of a poop trophy, guaranteed. Because why not? I was told I couldn't do it, now I am. So yeah, I think that's where, I don't know, guys. I've seen some classes come out that are, or seen some tracks where every 3 weeks you have a new class. And if you have a new class every 3 weeks, guess what's going to happen? You're going to lose guys. Guys aren't showing because a month and a half, or say 3 months ago, when you started your racing for the year, 4 months ago, whatever, you came up and said, these are the classes we're running, and I bought 4 cars to race, very cheap. We're running cheap cars. They're $400, $500 a piece. I got $2,000 in them. Now we're only running 2 of those. Now we're at $1,000. I got $1,000 worth of cars I got to try to sell for $600 and go find another car that you are thinking about running somewhere else. Right? Oh, now you've changed. You want this car to be ran, so now we got to do this. That's where, and I know a lot of guys on here are running the major classes, but just from a promoter and track owner side of it, I feel like some guys get in the weeds too far with it, and we need just the basic classes. And it sounds very harsh to say this, but you really don't entertain many other classes unless you have a group of 5 or 6 guys that are going to go out on their own and buy a set of cars and race every weekend. And they race every weekend, and when they do, come multiple weeks in a row, then you can do that. You can add that class, right? Or you can make that your one-off class. But only have one-off class and hope it grows. No different than us in the mini mods. You know what I mean? We tried mini sprints. We tried mini late models. We tried super late models on the backside. They didn't really take off real well. Mini mods are the OGs. That's why we stuck with them. The mini late models are being ran other places. That's fine. We're not going to run them. We're sticking with our one-off class, which is the mini late or mini mod, the OG. So that's just how we feel is the best to do it. I'm not telling anybody else how to do theirs. I'm just saying if we could keep a group together, then that's, how it is. Brian says, unless it's novice, let those kids race. But if it's one kid by himself, we need to go out and run with that kid, trying to make it more fun for them. Yeah, I think there's a time for that too, Brian. Also, what we've done here in the past is Gavin's here every weekend, and especially every weekend we race. And Scuba had put him into a slash street stock last year. Well, if we didn't have enough, we just put him in the slash street stock, and he was okay. He might not have been the very bottom, but he was pretty low in the field at that point. Where what we could have done is we could have threw two guys out there with slashes to make three to run with him, just so he has some competition and make him race a little bit. And those guys would be good enough to understand what they're doing, you know what I mean? But I agree with that. Ryan says, I watch a lot of podcasts and have seen a bunch of top guys being asked what they think of the Losi Sprint. All of them said it's the best entry car ever introduced to the hobby. Weasel. Ryan, I don't disagree with that. I've said on here, and you've been here since very early on. You've heard me say it. The only problem I have is the open wheel. I really think that is the only problem with that car. Maybe if you run an open wheel, I talked to somebody at the track a while back, and they said, well, if you run an open wheel, you run anything. Well, that's true, too, if you look at it from that way. But I know how I started this track, and it was pretty rough. So it's kind of hard to see that sometimes. But I don't disagree. I think the Losi car is not a bad car. I didn't want to get involved in the beginning because I didn't want it to be that fad that nobody ever did again. And then here we have another class, and nobody runs it. But it's caught on enough. I think we'll continue to run it this year. Brian says they're definitely durable. Weasel says they teach newbies how to pop a ball cap back on. Ryan says, I do that when any kid shows up and doesn't have anyone to race against. Yeah, that's good time. That's what it is. Weasel says 3 make a class on a club night at a big trophy. 3 makes a longer day. Yes. I'm a 5 or 6. I haven't put that number out yet for sure, but I'm a 5 or 6 guy on a big race night. Ryan says the open wheel part is a disadvantage for sure. It's scale and it looks like what they watched in the big car tracks. Yeah, I agree. I think Losi did a good job of it, and they did have a little bit of the tire problem, I think, of getting tires there, but I think everything else, I think they've been pretty good. I haven't heard a whole lot of bitching, so I would assume that Losi's kept up. Any of you Losi Sprint guys can verify or not on here, but it seems like the Losi Sprints have kept up pretty well with what they are. You know what I mean? With their backside products. So, and I hope that continues. It's off the 22, so it should help. But just because that doesn't mean anything. But as long as they keep up on production and make sure that everybody has the stuff they need and don't change a bunch of stuff, I think it'll be good. Brian says, have to respect an open wheel car, otherwise it'll bite you real quick. Yeah. And I mean, like I said, I don't even remember who it was, but whoever said it, they're probably not wrong by saying that'll make you a better driver anyway, because you have to respect that. Then if you get into a closed wheel car, you're there. That helps the number. That helps you drive a little smarter, a little cleaner in the closed wheel car too. Maybe that's it. I don't know, but I just see it where guys are. I see tracks with some weird ass people, weird ass classes, and I'm like, man, what are you doing? You're just making it for a long day, I feel like if you don't entertain that guy won't go to that one-off class. He's going to go to the if he really wants to race, he's going to go to the mainline classes. Now, also with that being said, do people is there enough information out there for people to get into a buggy street stock style class? Is there enough information out there to get them into a slash street stock? Is there enough to get them into a B mod? Is there, you know what I mean? Like, build your own deals. Is there enough of that? That's something else I wonder why Traxxas didn't do. Yeah, no shit. I heard that's a problem there, Brian. You wonder why Traxxas, when they came out with their TRX modified and now their late model, why didn't they go see what people are building slashes into? I guess the Mud Boss, but that's what they were going after. But I don't know. Maybe the street stocks are just here. I can't believe that as many as Shark comes out with. I can't believe we're the only ones buying them. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, if you would have come out with how they could have took the car, everything they had. They didn't have to build a new body and snap together parts and shit like they're doing with the TRX modifieds where the front ends don't stay down. And although there was a ton of them, I don't want to say a ton of them, there was a good number of them up at Trackside this weekend, wasn't there? So here's another thing. Let me get this up real quick. Here's another thing, guys, that we talk about standardization. This hasn't been out there too much yet. I'm just going to put it out there because I think it needs to be told. You guys know that there's a group of tracks that got together for rules. So in North Central Illinois now this year, and guys that were left out of this deal, don't feel bad. You can jump in, read them up, see what you think, talk about it. Let's talk about it in the off season. We wanted to see how a season goes. But here it is. This group right here, here's the list of races you can race this summer, and all you're going to have to do is maybe change a tire. North Central Illinois. Every weekend, and sometimes two a weekend, you can race in Illinois. Right there. Okay? Those 5 tracks that are listed on there got together. The only thing you're going to have to do is some of them you'll change tire. Maybe. The rest of the rules are the same. Your slash street stocks, you're going to run BL2Ss in every one of those tracks. Cedar, didn't really say because they don't have any, but if a group goes there, I'm sure BL2s will be fine. I just talked to Jake this week. Jake's is going to be BL2. It's not in his rules yet, but he is on board with the BL2S system. So you can go race my track, you can go to Farmer, you can go to Brad's, you can go to Jake's, you can go to Cedar, and we can all go race slash street stocks if that's what we're doing. 13.5 Sprint's the same way. 13.5 Sprint, everybody's running Roar 13.5s now. No just stocks. The 13.5 crate late model 13.5, the 13.5 late model is all the same. 0 and 3, 1 inch spoiler, and just stock 13.5. So that's what we worked on this winter, guys, to be able to get guys the time and the ability to be able to travel. The same rules right now go to PTs, I believe. I don't know about the sprint, though. What's 13.5 sprint rule at PTs? Somebody that's down here. I haven't looked that up. But for the most part, I think he's got the same. I know, Scuba. Scuba says, how many years have I asked for this? Guys, I don't want to sound rude, but this has tried to happen before. So I ask as racers to encourage your track owners to stay on it. Okay? Because we don't need somebody jumping ship and everybody getting pissed off at each other. It happens. I believe that's what happened last time. I wasn't involved, and I'm not saying I'm the glue that's going to hold it together. I'm just saying that we talked on here, which is where it started, in all honesty. Scuba's told me for years that I'm tired of fucking changing shit to roll somewhere else. I agree, Scuba, and we talked about it here. But we talked about it at this track for a long time. Okay, so he's just stuck still. Okay. But we talked about it locally here at this track. It's like, man, we got to fucking do something about this. Well, finally we got to talking on here, and it comes out that, hey, people really want that. More people talked about it, more people talked about it. So with that said, we got together as 5 tracks. That's it. Now, will Leisure Hour High Road, will I know Oval Office spoke on it that he didn't know about it. No, we didn't get that far yet, south. But we're willing. I think everybody's willing. We're just trying not to get so big. Yeah, I got you, Brian. Not to get so big that we have so much going on. You know what I mean? But in all honesty, if you got 5 tracks that will do it, if one wants to jump on and do the same rules, I think it'll be fine. And if you got 5 tracks already there, if you want to make one change, it's honestly hard to change one little rule. It's hard to change one little rule. You know what I mean? Like one class, it would be hard to make a difference because there's already 5 committed, five groups of guys at 5 tracks. You know what I mean? But for somebody to jump in on it would be different. Now, that being said, with the rules all being the same, I'm putting together a B-mod at some point also during the year, but I'm going to put a truck body on it, kind of like they do in Oklahoma. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to do that on my own. I'm not going to go ask for a class for it. If something happens and the B-mod dies completely off and guys are interested, then maybe that'll happen. But we're not pushing for a new class. It's just, if we're going to go race Oklahoma, I'd like to see what that truck looks like, how it handles. I know there's some other guys in the area that might travel out that way, and they think the truck works really well on a short course or on a buggy. So that's how that is. You know what I mean? Like, but it's not going to be another class. We're not going to try to introduce anything on that. But if you are a racer and you want to try some stuff on the side and, you know, race it at your own leisure, practice it, whatever, that's different. But the rules set now in this area, in those 5 tracks, outdoor, are spot on with everybody. So, I mean, I don't know there's any better that you can do. That is not all the races that are on the schedule, guys. That is all the big races. What's up, Bo? That's all the big races. So you're going to have club races mixed in on top of those big races, guaranteed, and that's how it is. We're doing Fridays, so it doesn't affect as bad, but that's how it, you know what I mean? Like, we're doing Friday nights just because I like Friday nights. So that's how it is. I mean, you cannot complain about a track doing a club night on top of a big race night. If you want to race big race, you go big race. If you want to go club, you go club, right? Like, that's how it is. I think it's a good thing. I think guys should be able to go race non-big race if they want to. So if all we had was big races every weekend and nobody ever did a club night, we would lose people because people are intimidated by the big race, and then they're like, oh, I'm not going because I'm just going to lose anyway. Well, okay, you don't want to go, then we're racing that night. We'll say farmers running a club night if they want to run, you know what I mean? Like, then you go down to farmer. All right, Brian says I'm going to order a truck body for mine as well. Yeah, I don't know. Bo agrees with that. Yeah, that's, you got to have them both, guys. No disrespect at all, but it's no different than club nights, in my opinion, except for thankfully PTs are usually slower, and you have more time to work on your stuff. You have more time to talk to the guy next to you to understand and help you. It's almost like really good practice for the big show. I don't know how else to say it, and that might be completely wrong, but that's how I see it. Okay? It just seems like that's the best way to put it. No different, man. I'm telling you, I've been places and intimidated at a big race walking in the building or walking up to the track. Like, man, when I first got into this, I was like, there ain't no way. And then we started doing Friday Night Lights down at Brad's. Brought a bunch of slashes along back whenever everybody's still running 12 turns. And we brought mini mods down, and we raced a ton of Friday Night Lights. And then that got a little easier because we were on the club night. Friday Night Lights is even lighter than a club night, in my opinion. But we were on the light side, and then when we got done, now I'll walk up the Brad's in the middle of whatever. It doesn't matter to me because you're more comfortable with the surface. You're more comfortable with the people. We need small shows also. And I think that's what PT's idea was, is have small shows. And unfortunately to them, but I'm sure they'd like to have nights where they're not so damn busy too. I understand that. So that's kind of what we're at with that. I don't know. We had a guy Saturday in a slash street stock with a truck body. Okay, well, I'm glad you brought that up, Brian. What's everybody's thought on that? What's everybody's thought? So that got brought up this weekend. What's everybody going to do with the truck bodies? Jared. What's up, Jared? Jared's Oval Office. Are you going to allow truck bodies to run with the buggy street stock and the slash street stock? Oh, ramen dinner. Nice, Rick. Are you guys going to allow truck bodies in with the car bodies? Okay. Send it to me, Jared. Guys, trucks will be in the street stock class. Yes. Okay. Has anybody tested them for aero? Are they going to be a big difference? Because if it's a big difference, guess what? Everybody's going to be there. Paint them or wrap them? What? Truck bodies? I'm wrapping everything. I don't know what to say. If you get enough, separate them. If not, run them together. I understand both. Um, I just wonder. I know, and I'm just speaking. We allow them in the slash street. Yeah. Okay, Mike. Since you're there, how is there a big difference in the trucks? We allow decking. Tom is okay. Tom, you seen one run this weekend. Everybody's seen him run. I haven't seen one run yet. Um, is there a big advantage to him? And here's the reason I say this. Um, in the 1RC stuff, they had to switch him because the truck had a big aero advantage. Is that the same for here, for us in the loose dirt? Run them in the slash. But most of us allow decking, so I don't think that's going to be huge. You know what I mean? I wonder how them trucks are going to act decked. They already got a huge tray back there. 12 turns ran just fine with the truck body, with a BL2S in it. Okay. They do look awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think they're a good-looking truck. I just don't know how to do it. My original, and I was talking to the guy this weekend, I said, I'm not running the buggy street stocks and the trucks together. But, I mean, if there's a... Oh, okay, yeah, I can't. Let me look at my phone. But that's the difference. I just don't, you know what I mean? If it's a huge advantage, you're going to get rid of them. You're going to get rid of everything. Yeah, that was good. Um, yeah, that was good, Jared. I just wonder how that's going to be. You know what I mean? I just, if they're more of an advantage, we're going to not have buggy street stock and slash street stock anymore. We're going to have We're going to have all truck classes because everybody's looking for the aero package, right? If that's it. Yeah, yeah. I just seen Jared's truck. I think it looks cool. The new design on it. I think the trucks look good. I seen Matt had one at PT's here a while back. Um, I just wonder. I just wonder how that's going to be. You know what I mean? The guy was there with the truck. Is home track is Leighton. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Leighton guys. Yeah. I knew there was a few there. Having a good air with a big open space behind the cab. Man, Rick, I think it's going to help more than we think. Like how much wing you're going to have with all that air on the deck. I don't know. Maybe there isn't, but I just wondered if anybody noticed it. We'll make that decision closer to time. Uh, my original thought was no, don't. But like I said, if everybody's letting them run, I mean, I'm not going to be the odd man out. It just makes no sense for me not to allow it if everybody else is going to. So I guess we'll have to get in the group to see what everybody says about that. Yeah, I seen Jimmy was there. I wish I was there. I think you could breathe a little life into the slash class for us. Need to see some more buggy street stocks run with them. Yeah. Yeah, Matt was scared to bring his street stock. Well, I don't blame him. Um, yeah, Matt. Yeah, Tom. It might. I mean that might help, and hopefully it does. I would really enjoy. Man, I love that. I love them slashes. So I can't. You know what I mean? Anything to keep that class rolling as long as we can. That would be great. Mike says he didn't notice any more speed. Okay, all right, that's cool. But yeah, that's very interesting to see. I would be very interested to see how that's going to work. The other question is if you let everybody else deck, do you let the trucks not deck to try to help? You know what I mean? If there is an advantage this summer. Rick, they make them in SC, and they make it as a buggy 10 scale. Shark makes both of them. Somebody else makes a buggy, I think. Bo says, I'm going to get one. I just like the way they look. Yeah, Bo. So here's the thing. Excuse me. Interesting you say that. That's what we need. If you like the way they look, guess what you're going to do? You're going to want to run them. And that's what my thought is with the B-Mod over to the truck like they do in Oklahoma, is trying to get people to like the look, change over, keep them cars on the track instead of being shelf queens. I know there's some old farts in here right now that have B-Mods sitting on the shelf. Truck bodies belong on the SC trucks only. Keep them out of the buggy street stock. Yeah, I maybe you only go one to see what's going to happen. You know what I mean? I'm going to post mine in your page for people to see what it looks. Oh yeah, go ahead. I'll have to approve it, I think, Jared, but I will. No big deal. Joe's agreeing with that, and maybe we start with that, right? So, not a fan. Yeah, that's might be where you start it. You know what I mean? Start it in the the SC stuff, and then see where that takes it. I don't know where that's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen with that. You know what I mean? And you never will until you do it, or somebody throws a bunch of practice out there, and then maybe that'll help. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Okay, hang on. There it is. So yeah, I don't know. We'll post it up this week and see what everybody thinks in the group of tracks. See what everybody's going to do, and then we're going to go from there. But I like the SC truck idea. I like the slash idea. I also like the keeping it out of buggy for now too, to see what, you know what I mean. Or if a ton of guys go, the problem is you don't want to split up the buggy class. It's so big right now. I don't want to split it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, if you want to run a buggy truck body, then we'll, start another class. But it's so big, you don't want to hurt that. So, but yeah, it's very interesting to think about, figure out what you're going to do whenever they start bringing out new bodies and new this and new that. No different than new cars and new classes. You got to figure out how, as a track owner and a promoter, you're going to move that. So, first shark body I ran got hit in the back end and cracked all the way up the window. Yeah. We were just talking about bodies and how we prepare them this weekend to the track sitting there. And I don't disagree with some of that. I don't know. There's so many different ideas and thoughts about it. My buddy Shugu the whole thing to make that happen. Carrie, what's up? Is this your first time on? If it is, throw out your home track. He said, I raced against a few guys in the SC street stock that ran truck bodies. I don't think there is any speed advantage, but they are cool looking. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, guys. I'm looking for real input. Like, if you listen to this later and you're not on here live commenting, comment anyway. What do you guys think about that shit? You know what I mean? What do you guys think that what do you guys think about the truck bodies? I really think the SC is where we need it first. The short course is where we need it first. I-30 Raceway Speed Bowl, Little Rock. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, you've been on here. So, yeah, hell yeah, Carrie, good. Arkansas. No, I did not. I did not, Ryan. He was pretty busy all weekend. I meant to go down and talk to him. I messaged him last year. He donated for the Shriner race, thanks to Jesse. You guys know him as Jesse McRace or Macbeth on here. Jesse reached out and he donated some bodies and then couldn't make the race. So, but I did not get down there. My shark bodies, and they have held up great even in the toll booth race. Uh, yeah. Guys, bodies are so hard to say. I like MR Custom bodies. I own a bunch of shark bodies also, so I can't say either way. Yeah, Greg is good people, Carrie. You're right, 100%. Yes. Haven't seen sure, but yeah, they're out there. They got a Toyota, a Chevy, and a Ford, I think, on there. I don't know who else is going to jump on that. I don't know where that even came from, but it'll be very interesting to see how many of those are around this summer. I'm due for a new SC body, so maybe that's what if we decide to go that way, maybe that's where I'm at. Posted it just now. Let me see. Yep, I got a notification. You're in there. It's approved, Jared. You're in there, buddy. So, yep, it's there. So, guys, want to go look at a truck that's not that Jared just put it out there. It's on the page now. So after this, you can go check it out. Really good and so. Yeah, I mean, guys, in all honesty, my only bitch is on some of the shark bodies. They tell you where to put shoe goo right out of the hit. I've talked to some guys about it. It's right. I think Paul does it to keep the bodies as good as they can for as long as they can. The we've had a lot of luck with the slash bodies. What's up, Andrew Baker? Custom built-ins and more right there. One of our helpers here. Yeah, I think he does it to make sure you get the best out of the body. The complaint that I think of, and guys that I've talked to say, why do I have to shoe goo a brand new body? Well, I shoe goo them anyway in spaces, even where they don't tell me to shoe goo them, because I've seen them fold or I've seen them crack or on the nose. A lot of times, a lot of people want that, one a little stiffer. I know Ryan Cox shoe gooed his 4-drive late model just because it's a battle hardened weapon. He shoe gooed damn near the whole body. Shoe goo and drywall taped it. There's no rule against it. So that's what he wanted to do, and he's never had a problem. Rick says, let's see. Jerry says, I literally just typed in the shoe goo comment. Yeah, that's my only thought is so hard for me to have a manufacturer say, hey, the body's not strong enough, put shoe goo in. But I also understand his point because I've done some vacuum forming in my home, just homemade deal I made. It's hard. It's hard. You know what I mean? But Paul puts them out and MR Customs puts them out. The guys that are building these bodies, it's not an easy process, guys. I've done it for a few years trying to figure it out, and it's rough. Rick says, I use plastic dip in a can. Jared says, just like any big body, you'll have to use drywall mesh tape, right, and shoe goo to beef up the corners, front and back, especially at the front fender wells. Yeah, the front end folds like a old, yeah, C10 hood, right? No shit. Yep, if you grab that C10 hood, don't shake it as you put her down there. You're going to bend her right at the hinges. And that front end's going to do the same thing. And we just talked about this weekend at the track with some guys. So very true. Very, you're going to do it no matter what. So maybe it isn't as big a deal as my original thought was. I do have a new MR Customs body for my buggy street stock I just bought, so I'll probably run that just to see. But we've ran slashes with shark bodies for a long time. So, and they've held up well. Little paint problems here and there, but last year was a paint nightmare. Scuba ended up getting his, but I think he backsided his whole thing after he got it painted, and it's on there last I seen it at PT's. So mine all completely chunked off. Excuse me, but I heard a bunch of guys had that problem. I don't know if it was, I don't know. I didn't paint it, so I don't know. But the guy that painted it's painted thousands of bodies. It ain't like he's a rookie. Dude's good and looked badass, but I will be rapping. OG will be rapping my shit for me from now on. I don't worry about it. Thanks for listening to In My Opinion. Don't forget to join us live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central on Kempton Speedway Facebook page. Catch our highlight show dropping Wednesdays on RCU Radio's YouTube, Spotify, and all major platforms. Please like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate your support, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to another great podcast on the RCU Radio channel. Please like, subscribe, and tell your friends to join the channel for more RC content. RCU Radio. We cover it all.